that love it. Jack Eichel ate it while he was here in Buffalo. It was one of his go-tos. There's been a lot. It's quite a list.
I mean, this is just incredible. Hey everyone, I'm Greg Hudson, host of America's Best Restaurants, where we scour the country, checking out hidden gems as well as your local favorites. Well, today we are at one of America's favorites. It's called Chef's in Buffalo, New York. And this place has been around for 100 years, serving the likes of presidents, dignitaries, athletes, musicians, and everyone in between. But what's even more impressive is that they do it all from scratch. Think I'm kidding? These guys make 120 gallons of sauce every single day. It's just that good. So come on in, let's grab some spaghetti parm and head into Chef's. Lou!
Hey, how
What's
are
up,
you?
man? Doing very well. Great to see you, my man.
Pleasure to have you here.
Man, this place is gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
So much history. As soon as you walk in, I see the pictures everywhere. It looks like if these walls could talk.
Oh, for sure. Every story or every picture has a story.
And what do you got for us here, brother?
Well, I got a little our homemade mozzarella sticks. We use an appetizer, and I thought you might want to try it out just to see what you think.
Okay, now I read online you guys make a lot from scratch. I wouldn't expect a mozzarella stick to be made from scratch.
Oh, no, no. This is right from scratch, right from blocks of mozzarella cheese. We'll have to show you how we do it.
Okay, so we take what, fresh mozzarella here?
Yep.
You gonna dig in with me?
Sure.
Oh, let's see.
Sure.
Oh, baby.
Yep.
This is what you want, ladies and gentlemen, when you are coming in for a mozzarella. I'm just seeing how far I can go at this point.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of all I'm doing. That's incredible, man. Mm.
Okay.
Lou. That breading is so light.
Yep.
You know, most of the time when you get a mozzarella stick, breading's a little bit thicker, right?
Right.
These have just a nice thin coating.
Right.
Now, is this the famous sauce?
No, that's our marinara sauce.
Okay. Because if I'm not mistaken, if you know anything about Chef's in Buffalo, everybody raves about the sauce.
They do. They do. We've been very lucky and very fortunate. Our what we call our meat sauce is what everybody comes in for. We have a sauce without meat. We have our marinara sauce, Alfredo sauces. But yeah.
Tell me at some point today, though, we're going to get to try the sauce.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We got a couple different dishes set up.
Okay, but back to these mozzarella sticks. Hand breaded, handmade here in house, hand cut in house.
Right.
For a restaurant this size and this popular, how in the heck are you doing this fresh on a daily basis?
It's tough, but I've got a great crew. My morning guys, as I call them, they come in, they're here by 6:30 in the morning, and they just bang the stuff out all day long.
I'm gonna ask the $1 million question because I know if you're watching this, you're asking to see yourself the same thing. How many pounds of cheese do you go through a week, bro?
We go through almost 1 ton of cheese a week, mozzarella cheese.
1 ton?
1 ton.
Of mozzarella cheese per week?
Yep.
Man, well, I can't wait to take a look around. What else are we trying today, Lou?
We're also going to try some of our homemade lasagna and also the world famous spaghetti parm, which we invented in 1962 here.
In 1962, invented right here at Chef's.
Yep.
And I know we're going to go over all this, but I want to say it out loud because I am a huge football fan. I'm a huge Bengals fan, and I know Bruce Smith, legendary Buffalo Bill. This was one of his spots, and there's a certain story behind that spaghetti parm. I'm going to ask you, are you going to tell me this story a little bit later?
Absolutely.
We can get into that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, listen, while Chef's getting ready with those two dishes, you and I, if you don't mind, I'd love to take a look around and just hear about the history, because it's been, what, how many years since your family's owned this place?
Well, since my family's owned it, we took it over in 1950, but we're in 99 years right now. We're coming up on our 100th anniversary here.
100 years of Chef's. We're going to take a walk around and listen to more of the story. You should see all these pictures. You're going to get to see them in just a second. But Chef's going to work on our two dishes, on the lasagna, on the spaghetti parm. But yeah, let's take a look around, Lou.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
do
brother.
it. All right.
Man, there's so much history here as you walk around. And because again, we mentioned this before, you guys have had this place for how many years now? The family?
Oh, the family since 1950.
Man, over 70 years.
Yeah.
And I love on the walls, all of the people that have come through here.
Oh yeah.
This has just become just somewhat of an institution. Talk me through some of these photos, man.
Sure. Of course, you got President Clinton and Hillary is the first lady, of course.
That's a flex right there. You got the president on the wall.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a big day for us. We had more Secret Service agents than we knew what to do with, but he was very gracious, very nice man. We got all kinds of actors. Obviously, we got Bill Fichtner and Kim Coates, two of my very good friends, and everybody's seen them in Sons of Anarchy and movies, and you have it. But it just goes on and on. You got Keanu Reeves, of course, and James Woods, John Tesh from radio.
Well, you have a SEAL team that came in here?
Yeah, well, that was the show SEAL team, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
But you sent the show a bunch of sauce, it looks like.
Yep, that's on set. David, of course, his dad invented our spaghetti parm, and then my dad and his dad, so we're good friends, and he says, send me sauce, we gotta take a picture on set, so that's how that came about, yeah.
So, and you don't have to give me any names here, Lou, but do you just have like a Rolodex of famous people on your, like if I were to scroll through your phone, there must be just a list.
Yeah, there is. Spaghetti and sauce builds a lot of friendships. So over the years I've met them and I started sending them stuff and we built friendships. So I've been very fortunate. I have a lot of people that I deal with. So
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's just incredible. And just from heads of state to actors to country singers.
Right.
This seems to be a place where it's a destination at this point. If you're in the Buffalo area, if you're visiting Niagara Falls, if you're like us, you're shooting a TV show, you're gonna stop here. And I'm sure you have people who are doing concerts in town or sports teams that come to town, and this has to be the spot.
It is. Knock on wood, we've been very fortunate. Over the years, our reputations got out. We're in our 99th year, obviously, so we've been around a little bit, but people still come in. It's kind of the place to go for a lot of people, and we're very grateful for that.
Have you ever been starstruck when somebody walks in the door? With this many people coming through the door, I know you're probably used to it by now, but have you ever gotten starstruck?
Yeah, actually, James Woods,
the
president, obviously.
You better for that one.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of them were great actors that I love. Keanu Reeves was a favorite. We became not very good friends, but good friends.
Is he in your phone?
He is in my phone.
Then you're good friends.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
But yeah, those are the guys I was really starstruck with.
Right. Lou, let's talk about the food, man. Because if you've been around, when your family's owned the place for over 70 years, but the restaurant's been around even longer, have you tweaked the recipes over time? Like,
no.
What are we talking about when it comes to food?
You're talking 99 years of recipes. Same recipes, done the same way. We do everything in small batches, even though our volume's increased tons. But I've got a great morning crew that comes in, does the prep work, makes the sauce. I mean, we go through, on an average, probably 120 gallons of sauce a day. So they've got to make that every day. 120
gallons of your sauce per day.
Yeah.
And that's not even taking into account the sauce that you ship out that people order.
Yeah, that's just for consumption on premises.
Man.
Yeah, we did over 300,000 meatballs last year. So it's crazy. I mean, the numbers are getting crazier, and I'm so grateful for it, but it's getting to be almost overwhelming to be able to do it in small batches to keep that integrity and that quality.
And that's, I guess, where I'm leading here, because you talk about everything being scratch made and fresh, and we've seen how large the kitchen is, but for the operation that you're running here for a place of this size and the volume that comes through here, what's the secret to making sure everything is scratch and fresh every day? It almost doesn't seem possible. We visit a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't seem possible.
It's a chore, but you have to be here every day. It's either myself, my sister, my daughter. It's a family business, and you have to oversee it. But the main thing is you have to have good staff. And it's very tough especially with COVID, coming out of COVID. It's tough to get employees, but I've got a base of employees that are awesome. They're here at 6 o'clock every morning, and they don't go home until they finish everything.
And now you're even shipping things around the country, possibly the world. Right. You're making things, you're cooking fresh food, you're freezing it, shipping it off.
Right.
So you have even more volume with people around the world that want to taste your food.
Yeah, we ship anywhere in the world. We do frozen food, we do our jarred sauce, we jar our sauce. Our bread, we have our fresh bread, so we send that, we flash freeze it, send that. and it's worked out pretty well.
Okay, so everything is fresh. Been around for nearly 100 years, if not longer.
Right.
And now, Lou, if it's all right with you, my friend, I think I might need to start trying some of this food.
Oh, absolutely. Let's
because the lasagna here is to die for.
Yep.
The mozzarella sticks are incredible. And then, of course, we are not leaving chefs without a delicious plate of spaghetti parm. Absolutely. Does that work for you, my friend?
It works for me.
All right, I'm ready to eat. Let's put a bib on and go.
All right.
As promised, it is time for the lasagna, scratch-made lasagna.
Yes.
And I gotta be honest with you, Lou, I feel like kind of a don right now. Like we're sitting at this table, just you and I, we got some wine, we got lasagna, we got people sitting behind us.
Yeah.
What an ambiance here, man.
Well, that's what we try to create. It's a family atmosphere. This is where our logo has always been, or our tagline, I should say, has always been, where good friends meet to eat. So
I'll take it. I'll take it. And the bibs too.
Yep.
You know you're in for a good Italian meal when you got the bib on with the logo.
That's it. Everybody's got to wear a bib. That's the rules here. So it's been like that forever.
Well, let's cheers. This is your wine too, right?
Yeah, we make this wine. It's a good dry Valpolicella.
Oh, that is, it kind of sets my palate for the lasagna, I feel like.
Right.
Well, let's go, man. Talk me through this, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the famous sauce.
It is
on top, right?
It is. Yep. This is what we call our meat sauce. It's like a bolognese sauce, almost, I guess you'd say. And this is what people come here for. Mostly is our meat sauce on almost everything.
And I know you see the meat sauce right now, but what is underneath this meat sauce is more magic, because this is like a 3 to 4 pound piece of lasagna. This thing is heavy. Talk me through this. And I'm gonna cut through it right now.
Sure. So what you're doing is there's 5 layers of meat, ricotta cheese, mozzarella cheese, noodles, obviously. And then we cover it all. We bake it for about 3 hours. And then we serve it up. Put a ladle of sauce over it, and you're good to go.
I mean, that's just layered beautifully.
Yeah.
That is just perfect. Okay, here we go. Just get some sauce, swipe it up, right?
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Are you serious? Okay. This man just went, okay. That is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you're being a little
I'm
shy.
trying to be modest,
Like, yeah, you're being very modest. Lou, come on, man. I'm telling you.
A lot of people take the grated cheese or the crushed red peppers, dress it up a little bit, or some people do, most do it like we're doing it.
You can. I would just keep it like this,
right?
Because you've got the ricotta cheese in there. I mean, it's just so balanced the way it is. This is delicious. How long has this recipe been around?
99 years, 1923.
This same recipe?
Same recipe. We used to grow, years ago, we used to grow the mint that's in our cheese recipe right at my grandmother's house. My dad would make us go pick at my grandmother's house, grind up the mint, and put it in our lasagna.
Oh my goodness. This is fantastic. And here's what I think is really cool, maybe because I'm kind of a history nerd. And you can't help but to feel the nostalgia when you're in Chef's restaurant. I just sit here and I take this bite and I think to myself, how many other people and what famous people have eaten this same exact recipe of lasagna I'm having right now?
A lot. There definitely is a lot. We're known by a lot of politicians coming here, movie stars, television stars. So we've been very, very blessed over the years.
Is anybody coming and the lasagna is their favorite? Anybody that you recall over the years?
Oh gosh, you know who did? Believe it or not, probably it's before your time. It was a guy named Jimmy Durante, actually.
All right.
Yep, and another girl named Kate Ballard. She was a star in the '60s. My Mother, the Car, and all these different. So for the old time people, they used to live on the lasagna. Currently, some Buffalo Sabres that love it. Jack Eichel ate it while he was here in Buffalo. That was one of his go-tos. There's been a lot. It's quite a list.
I mean, this is just incredible. And what's the process like? Because we talked about this with the mozzarella sticks.
Right.
It's just, I can't fathom a restaurant this size doing the volume that you're doing. We see all of the celebrities that come in here to be able to make scratch dishes like this on a daily basis.
Right.
Is the lasagna something that you have to be here bright and early in the morning and back there prepping? How does it work?
Absolutely.
Your process?
My guys come in at 6 a.m. They start the sauce first, and then they go in, they make their lasagna, our stuffed shells, you know, all the things that have to be prepped for the day. Lasagna we make one day prior. We like to make it, bring it out of the oven, let it cool down in the cooler, and then the next day we reheat it, because that's what keeps it nice and solid.
Sure, but still only a day. I mean, there are restaurants that they'll par cook or prep things for the entire week.
Oh yeah.
You're doing this only one day before.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we try to stay as fresh as we can. We use local, like a local vineyard for our wine. We try to stay as local as we can with everything, all our products, our cheeses, what have you.
And the wine too, you mentioned, this has some significance to it, right?
It does. My grandfather's recipe, it's a Valpolicella. It's a region in Italy where he came from, and it's called Valpolicella wine. They don't let you call it that, believe it or not. There's actually a copyright, so we call it Anthony's Reserve, who was my grandfather, Tony. So yeah, we got to put my dad and my uncle and everybody on the label, and we use a local vineyard here in Buffalo, and we've been bottling it and selling it for about 2 years now.
It's fantastic, and I got to tell you, it absolutely goes perfectly with this lasagna too.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to take one more bite, and then after this, around the corner, it's time for the famous spaghetti parm. They come from miles around, right? They talk about it everywhere.
They do.
I'm gonna be talking about this lasagna for a long time. That's what I know. So around the corner, spaghetti parm. The Bruce Smith story is coming up right after this. With the world famous spaghetti parm.
Sir.
This is massive. This, again, another plate that weighs, I don't know, 4 to 5. No, that's probably close to 6 or 7 pounds.
That's pretty heavy.
So I see a big bundle of cheese. I'm assuming there's some spaghetti under there. Talk me through this dish, Lou.
Yep, you've got what you got. You got spaghetti, you've got butter, you've got our sauce, and then we cover it all with mozzarella cheese, and we put it in a 1800-degree broiler, crisp it up, and you got spaghetti parm.
One of the great simple pleasures on this planet are like those little crispy edges of cheese.
We have a lot
of
people
me smile.
Order it extra crispy, and it'll be almost black.
Oh!
And that's how they eat it. It's great. Jay McKee, who's worked for used to play for the Buffalo Sabres. That's how he gets his.
He gets his just charred, extra done.
Just burn it. Yeah.
And we got the cup of sauce next to it.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Well, you can do it either way. I mean, everybody does their own thing. Some guys just put sauce and they put it over the top. Some guys will just dig in. Come up,
following you.
Come up. Oh,
following you, Lou.
Yeah, there you go. They'll just come up and they'll twirl it and then dip it in the sauce. Oop. I didn't get much cheese on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did the same thing. I was swiping for extra cheese on that thing.
What the heck?
You need some extra cheese on this baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh.
Okay, I need to get a bite I can actually eat.
All right.
Okay, so we got it all twirled up.
Got it twirled
now
up.
What do you make?
Do a little.
What do you say? Dip it in the sauce.
Dunk. Yep. Yep. You can do that. And away you go.
And that's what it looks like right there. See it? Oh man, that's outstanding. I'm not even joking. I don't care what you say. I don't care. Oh, it's spaghetti with cheese. No. This is outstanding.
It's the combination of the sauce, the cheese, and the butter.
It's, you know what? I was gonna say that butter is kind of the secret ingredient.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize there's butter in there.
Until you said that, I didn't. Then once you mentioned it and I tasted, I'm like, yeah. Because it, you know, obviously you got the cheese, but the butter just adds a little different dimension of flavor.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, if anybody who watches this show knows, I'm a sucker for anything I can dunk.
Yep.
Give me a sandwich I can dunk.
Yep.
And this is by far the first time I've ever dunked spaghetti in a sauce.
That's right.
It's just fun, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
And how long's this recipe been around?
1962 we invented it.
How fun is this?
We're the inventors of it. A lot of duplicates now in the last 50, 60 years, but
nothing like this.
No.
But how fun is this? I'm like, we're sitting at a table, you got the Italian checker, we got bibs on, restaurant behind us. I feel like a Don, man. I really do. I know I said it before, but. That cheese, that mozzarella, is that the same that you use inside those in the cheese sticks we tried too?
They are.
That's dynamite.
Yep.
That cheese is dynamite, man.
Yeah. It's a great mozzarella. And of course, what Bruce Smith used to do, besides having like
I'm going to ask you about him. I was going to ask you about that, but talk me through the bread here. What else we got?
Well, we make this in house. We have our own bakery. It's all hand rolled and handmade. And what Bruce used to do is he would get a bowl like twice this size, and he would just dunk the bread in. He would dunk the bread in and just eat the sauce with the bread.
I can see doing that too. Yeah, it's my first time trying the bread, which I know you guys make in house. Oh, that's as fresh as it gets.
Yep. Yeah,
and what's interesting too, you guys have a whole kitchen back there dedicated just to the bread.
Yes.
And as you walk around, first of all, back there is like a maze. Different kitchens, different stations. And I can tell you, when you walk by that bread station, you know exactly where you're at. Your nose tells you.
Right.
It just smells incredible.
Yeah, it's got a great bakery smell.
So back to the Bruce Smith stuff, because this dish is unbelievable. It's fantastic. And if you're an NFL fan, you don't even have to be a Bills fan. You know who Bruce Smith was. He would eat how much of this again? Because this is massive. This is not what he used to eat. This plate?
No, this is nothing. He would have almost 2 of these. Imagine 2 of these on a big platter. And he'd have that every Friday night his whole career. He never missed a Friday.
And didn't you even say that there was a point where he had to fly out in the morning and you had to get out of bed and come make parm? What happened?
I did. During COVID, we were closed, and he came to Buffalo for something. He called me up and said, I got to get my spaghetti parm fixed. And I said, geez, Bruce, we're closed. He goes, oh, come on. I go, all right, I'll come down. I'll open up the restaurant. I'll make it for you. And he said, what time are you flying out? He goes, I'll be at the restaurant at 9 a.m. I'm like, dude, 9 a.m.? He goes, yeah. I go, it's a little early for spaghetti parm. No, it's not. Pulls up with a limo, was driving him to the airport. I thought he was going to eat in-house. He grabbed the dish, took it in the limo with him. The driver helped him, and he's eating spaghetti parm at like 7:30 in the morning.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
And you've got to be one of the only people I've ever met in my life anyway, that you've been to the Super Bowl, but not quite as a fan.
No.
Well, you were a fan.
It wasn't, yeah. Well, Bruce had to have spaghetti parm. So we wound up, he says, I got your tickets. We were in the family section. In fact, I sat right behind our first Super Bowl we lost when Scott Norwood missed the field goal. His mom sat right in front of me.
Oh.
It was crazy. But he flew us out there so we could have spaghetti. We could make spaghetti parm for him.
That's dedication.
So, yeah. After the second Super Bowl, after we lost 2 in a row, I said, Bruce, maybe you should go for a hot dog.
Yeah, right.
I said, I don't know if this is working. No, I don't care. But that's how, yeah. Bruce is our biggest supporter. He loves it.
I get it.
Yeah.
And you know, you've been around so long, you guys have been here so long, you've got to see some regulars coming through these doors all the time that have their place they like to sit, what they like to eat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, the one gentleman that you had saw before you guys started, Frank Sorrentino's his name. He's the oldest, both tenure and age-wise, the oldest head of the SBA for the whole United States.
The Small Business Association.
Yeah.
Really? The longest tenured in the entire U.S.?
Tenured, he's here 5 days a week. Never misses a day.
That's.
Yeah, I've never said he's here more than I'm here.
Put him on the payroll, man.
Right? He's got his own table. He knows where he goes. Holds all his business meetings at the table. Yeah, it's pretty great. We've been so blessed with so many loyal customers. We really have.
Well, I've got to tell you, we're lucky. We're very fortunate that we travel the country and we highlight independent restaurant owners. We've seen it all. I can honestly say, I think this is the first time I've been to an actual institution. A place that is just a legacy of a city, and that's exactly what this is. And I can see why, man. I mean, the recipes you're talking about, they date back, my goodness, decades, really. And you keep the recipes, you keep the integrity. Right. And I'm gonna tell you this, you don't know this. Actually, while you were walking around, I can't tell you how many of your staff came up to me and said, we love working at Chefs. We love working for Lou. Lou is just the best. He'd give you the heart out of his own chest if he could. And I think that's what goes into all of this is you can feel the love on every dish. Yeah. And so, and to hear your staff say that, man, this is incredible.
Well, we try to make it like family as much as we can. You know, nobody wants to work for a living, but you have to. So, you know, when I was a police officer, I didn't like everybody I worked for all the time. So I know what it feels like to have to go to work and go, oh my God, I got to go and work for that guy or that girl. And so I get it. So we try to make this a home for everybody.
Well, your staff feels that. Well, you certainly made us feel at home today. I'm sure you guys could feel that just watching through the lens. Where can people find you online? Because I can tell you right now, if you're coming to Buffalo, this is where you're going to eat. Let's be honest. You know you are. So where can they find you online if they're making their way to Buffalo?
Well, our website is www.ilovechefs.com. Very easy to find.
Simple.
Facebook, same thing. I Love Chefs. Instagram, it's Chefs Buffalo, I believe.
Okay.
And Twitter, it's also Chefs Restaurant.
Well, we'll make sure you can find all of it. You know what to do when you're watching on our YouTube page. Like, subscribe, share, and tell me this. Do you think you could eat this entire plate of spaghetti parm? Do you think you could do it? I don't think I can. I want you to think about this. Bruce Smith ate this times another half. Okay, NFL player. One of the greats, actually. It's incredible. How much could you eat? Do you think you could eat this whole plate? That's what I want to know. So let us know in the bottom of the comments. But listen, Lou, I got to thank you for having us today. Today was truly special. Looking around, hearing the stories of everyone on the wall and everyone that's walked through these doors. It's just been a pleasure.
No, it's been my pleasure.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on America's Best Restaurants. I'm Duncan some more.